Welcome to another edition of the Wednesday Preview, and as you can see, beautiful sunny day in Sydney. We're racing at Warwick Farm, rail out 3 metres, quite a firm surface I'd imagine on a good 3. The way I'd expect, up on, probably the place to be.
Yeah, up on rail 3 metres. It's just, I think they've just put themselves on the bunny. Actually, even in rail true last week when we were there, when we did that last meeting there, I don't even think the fence played as bad as I think people would expect, and I don't think you really wanted to be too wide without cover, even in the chute where it usually doesn't matter. So I'm thinking cover's probably good, and you'd like to be up and on.
Rightio, race number 1 is a good quality 2-year-old event. Scratching here of El Divino, the younger brother of Winks, comes out, so Host Win Legend has got in quite short, around that even money mark. Then you get to Regenesis, who gets the blinkers on for the first time at, geez, it's getting in quite short now at $2.90. And then you get out to Green Show and Crafty Chop, Gracious Grey and Lusitania, the roughies. Anything you like here?
I don't think there's a lot of value in the race. I think Host Win Legend, his trials have been good. They're good enough. He's not a horse that I'd usually find, but he's probably going to be well suited on the track. At the same time, I thought the trial of Grinshow was quite good, and I'm just willing to forgive Regenesis. Look, I'm going to have small bets against Host Win Legend, probably something small on Regenesis and something small on the bottom one in Lusitania, who I thought tried glimpses of ability, and here he goes on board.
Yeah, it's a well-related filly, this one being a sister to a Lingy. Now, the one that I thought tried quite good here was Gracious Grey, who is sort of a $10 or $11. Look, I don't really want to be coming at the favourite at even money. Regenesis needs to improve, but can get that with the blinkers going on, which you have to respect that gear change. But not really a race that I'm really keen to play in, but if I had to have a small bet, it would be on the 7 Gracious Grey. So moving on to the second event, and we get to see Chetwood go around again for the second time, and he was quite impressive winning on debut, but in my opinion he's going to need to really step up again this time, because it looks to be a good quality 3-year-old event here. I've got a fair rap on a few of them. Dixie Chick was very impressive winning at Newcastle after getting into all sorts of trouble and attacking the line with a nice turn of foot late, so I think she has above average ability. To Be Sure can improve, and Dark Steel first up for Peter and Paul Snowden.
Yeah, look, I think a few things went his way the other day when he won. He had to work a little bit early, Chetwood, and then from then on he got control. But I was really taken with the way he accelerated through the line. He gave the feel of he has that feel and look of a pretty smart animal.
Yep.
Do I think there's any value at the price? Most likely not, but do I think is his right price? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's sort of even money now, which is more than I was expecting. I was expecting him to sort of stay odds on and not really get into black figures.
If he is to blow it all, I could quite easily be backing him. I do have a bit like yourself. I do like To Be Sure as a horse, and even Kitty Leroy. I think some little bit of ability, but I just think with this horse, I think he could be one that's just that level above them again.
Yeah, well, he's going to need to be 61 kilos, inside gate. He doesn't seem to be a horse that's going to be brilliant away, but once he musters speed, he does have a high cruising.
I think if he finds the front, I think it's all over.
If Dixie Chick finds his back at any stage, I'd imagine she's got a better turn of foot than him, but just whether she can sustain it for as long and be stretched if he does look to make it a true staying test. So, look, I've been a huge rap of Chetwood in his barrier trials leading into his first start, and while I still think he's quite an exciting talent, I don't think I could be taking even money today, just given the way that the race looks like it can be run. And I think this is almost like a little listed race for 3-year-olds.
There's a couple of smart little animals.
There's some smart horses in it, so beware. Obviously Chetwood has ability, but don't think he's over the line by any stretch of the imagination. Race number 3, we have a 1,000 metre benchmark 72, and another short price favourite here in Hieroglyphics, who is returning to the races after having a little bit of a let-up. Had been competitive in some Saturday grade races, and recent barrier trial was okay, but to me just doesn't seem to be a 1,000 metre horse. And as we've seen with Floral Insight in recent weeks, these Warwick Farm 1,000 metre races can throw up a bit of a rough result. and I was sort of respecting the favourite to some degree, but if I was having a bet, I'd be looking away from Hieroglyphics at the price.
I was very the same. I looked at the field. I wanted to bet against her.
Yep.
I think she's got a good amount of ability. I think she's more of an 1100 metre horse. But she's just so small. I think she could be favoured on wet tracks also.
Yep.
Getting away from her though, I also did struggle to find something to beat her. I didn't mind the run of Minnesota. I thought his win was good. I thought he could go on with it. I thought he kind of gets in well at the weights after the claim.
Yep.
I thought he could be the value in the race.
Yeah, for me, I was just going through trying to rule out sort of winning hopes. I didn't think Paint was a 1,000 metre horse.
No.
He's probably looking for 1,200, 1,400. Frankie Fourfingers, I don't think is good enough. Wouldn't take it. Obviously, I don't think he's good enough. The market says that. Lyric's a horse who I'm prepared to forgive its first up run. And just going back to that barrier trial where it beat Exosphere and all those good horses counter attack, and obviously it was there doing a lot more in that barrier trial than what they were. But I think if Kayla Nisbet can be a little bit more aggressive out of the gates and put Lyric up on the speed, sort of $15, $16, I wouldn't be surprised to see it run well. I'm Usain did a good job last start in that race that was won by Floral Insight. You've also got here Just Like Stratum, which is an interesting horse first up. No barrier trials, but only lightly raced from the David Van Dyke stable with Jason Collett on board, and that pair have a very impressive strike rate of late with horses they've been sending to the races. So I'm opposing the favourite at the price, not saying it can't win, but I just don't want to be taking even 220.
Yeah, you don't want to be taking the 220. That's fair enough. It's not a race I'd want to be playing heavily in, but I could just have a small play away from the favourite.
Righto, race number 4 is for the apprentices only, and this event sees Brewery as favourite, who was certainly very impressive, winning the provincials last start, won by about 6 or 7 lengths. Looks to get a lot of favours here today. Barrier 1, Lester Grace on board, can be aggressive from that inside gate and probably control it here. With Art Nouveau coming across, who to me represented a little bit of value at sort of that $11, $12, $13 mark. Top striker, I was looking to oppose in them as of the ones in the market.
Yep.
Given that I think it's probably a little bit better with a sting out of the track. Even though it is consistent, I think it goes just that 2 lengths better with
the cutout.
The cutout. I'm probably left with the favourite here, Brewery, but I'm not getting overly keen on the race.
We couldn't have been more identical, I thought. I think Brewery had favours when he won the other day, but was still impressive. One thing about Brewery is a dead set dry tracker. He doesn't like any wet tracks. He gets the favours again here, by the looks of it, he'll roll forward. Lester Grace, ridden the horse, would know the horse. And I thought Art Nouveau, I thought his run the other day wasn't too bad. He's run behind a smart one in heady heights. I don't think there's any heady heights in this field, and I could see him settling more forward and being a chance. I thought they were the 2 horses, and I had them 1 too.
Rightio, we'll get through this pretty quickly now. Race number 5, I thought this was probably my bet of the day in Falkenberg. Comes up around that $3.70 mark. What are you laughing at?
I'm like, we're in agreement again.
You even looked at my notes? Or
I have looked at your notes.
So I just think the way this race is going to pan out, Happy Hannah looked visually impressive to the eye last start at Hawkesbury and winning that 1600 metre maiden where it cut the corner and come up the inside. But Karen McAvoy rode Falkenberg, he rode Happy Hannah. I don't know if there's anything in it, but he's sticking with Happy Hannah Falkenberg on this occasion. She's drawn barrier 2, Happy Hannah's drawn 8. I'd imagine Happy Hannah's going to go back looking for some type of cover, whereas Falkenberg showed from a wide barrier that she had the ability to go forward at Hawkesbury. When I did the form without looking at the prices, I thought Falkenberg would be a clear favourite. I was very surprised to see Happy Hannah shorter than it in the market. I've backed Falkenberg and think she'll be very hard to beat.
Yeah, I think you look at the 2 horses, if you're just purely looking at those horses in their last runs, you probably have them quite equal as the market might have them. But I just think the way that the race is going to pan out, Falkenberg's going to be up on the pace suited, where Happy Hannah's going to go back and be heavily against the buyers. If there's a lot between the horses, I don't think so. Not at this point, I'm yet to think. But I think the way the race is set, Falkenberg is by far going to be suited. I think both fillies are quite smart. And I just think Falkenberg's going to get the run of the race and be the horse to beat.
Yeah, well, Muller probably goes forward from its inside gate, stepping up in distance. There has to be some query of it at the 1600 metres because it's been sort of 1300 metres up in trip. Doesn't look the strongest horse, in my opinion, running out a mile. Dubai in style. Scratch from the last race to go around here. Keeping you awake, Sly?
Yeah, a little bit. Need a coffee.
And then in Costa Line has got a fair bit of weight to carry and does probably have a little bit of class there, but I think we know what we're going to get from those horses. Even Manhattan Sun coming back from the 1800 back to the 1600.
He was my one query horse. I thought Manhattan Sun could be the query. I thought.
Is he going to be sharp enough at 1600? Like if Falkenberg dashes, he's probably looking for 2,000 metres.
That could be the case.
That's the way I'm sort of seeing it. Look, I'm probably just talking myself further into Falkenberg here, but
yeah,
I'm pretty confident.
He could just be the one at the price that I could save on if I was having a good crack at Falkenberg.
Rightio, race number 6, we get a fillies and mares event, benchmark 72 over 1,300 metres, and quite an open betting race here. You've got a range of bookmakers with different opinions. Ravi's as short as $3.70 with Sportsbet. You can get out to $5.50 with Ladbrokes and a few of the others. And then you get down to sort of a horse like Loves It Fantasy, who's $4.40 in some places and $7 in others. So varying opinions here. My starting point is I'm against Ravi, and then I'm working back from there. I just think she's overhyped for what she's produced so far. Like
she's been very disappointing in this prep. Like I thought last prep, like her first up run was phenomenal.
Yep.
And then she got away with the win, and I've been disappointed in the way she's returned. I'm just a little bit interested in this horse Yatana still.
Yep.
I thought
coming back from Saturday grade.
Come back from Saturday grade, barrier 5. I think she'll sit in the front half of the field, and I think she represents a little bit of value.
Yeah, the one that I thought Tremezina could improve here, second up, going to the 1,400 metres. Typecast has been going quite well.
Where do you think Tremezina will sit in the run?
Well, third up in distance 1,300, you'd imagine Chris Waller's not going to be aggressive. She'd probably look to be midfield with cover 3 wide, maybe looking to get into the running line.
As long as she's in the first half, I would definitely entertain her. But
she was only just to the line there first up against Southern Legend, but that was a race that was run to suit the on paces. They just went forward and she never really got an opportunity. But look, I would have liked to seen her probably attack the line a bit better than she did, but I thought I saw that $9. She's at a price that you could entertain her to improve. But yeah, I found this race quite even, like 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, even Bells of War could even improve it big odds.
You can run a cheeky race for Con Carrots.
So yeah, I'm no real play going wide in a quaddie there.
Yeah, I'd be having a very small play Yatana each way if I was to bet.
Right, let me guess who you like in the last. Your man Bajon?
My man Bajon. My slight query is to the way the track's
so this horse we're talking about is Crosley Hotshot.
Crosley Hotshot. I thought he was very impressive winning last start, albeit a provincial class 2, I believe.
Yeah.
But he gives that feel of a horse that's just going to slowly go through the grades.
Yep.
And I think he could get the Saturday grade, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him run a cheeky race in like a black type staying event for 3-year-olds.
Where do you see him getting from barrier 5?
That's my query. I think there will be a show of intent to try and have him closer. The problem is the horse just doesn't have a lot of early gate speed.
That was my concern.
I think where he should be, and from the gate, if he's one off the fence and they do go slow early, I could see him taking off, say, from the 800, 700. As if you go back and watch his win when he won at Randwick that day, they really did build from the 700, and that's when he made his run. And I think he will stay all day. I think he looks the most progressive horse. I tend to agree with that. It's just whether today's conditions are going to be to suit him. But you're getting the price of $7.50 to find that out. Yeah,
so
exactly.
You're getting opportunity. A Point Percy seems short to me.
I think it seems really short. I don't know if it's the bookmakers or people think he won at Randwick last start, but he won a bush race.
Yeah. But his run before at Warwick Farm was quite good. Yeah. Behind Tower of
Tower of Song. Yeah, his run by Tower of Song was good. But I think too much has been put into the mud. I don't know if they just feel like the race was at Randwick. He's coming up in grade again. And up in weight. He carries 60.5 kilos with no claim. His advantage is barrier 2 can put himself up on speed somewhere.
The horse that, look, I was looking, blinkers on, multifacets, short enough in the, I thought Manor, maybe. Look,
He's blinkers on as well.
He blinkers on, that's what I'm thinking, blinkers on, not a lot of speed here, may go forward, probably wants a wet track, but, some sort of sting, some sort of sting out, but I think he's a pretty consistent horse, coming back in distance, blinkers on, rock hard fit. The one that I thought was well short of a true odds was Trois Choix. Why is she that price? Like NASCAR ran just as well.
She's a horse
in the same race.
She's a horse that keeps being found quite well in the market. She never seems to be double figure odds unless she's in a hard Saturday race. She's a horse that has come in a bit of a sprue. Look, I thought she got way too far back last start, and I did think she hit the line good. But once again, I think when she goes forward, she seems to not finish off.
Yeah.
I know she's up in distance. It's hard. It's not a horse not going to be suited. I think it's a real tricky run race. I'm not going in with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
I just think if they do ride Crosley Hotshot and they can take off on him, he's one horse that will stay all day.
Yeah. I thought outside of the market, NASCAR, which has started to trim up sort of $17, $18, it's coming out of the same race as Trois Choix and gets the claim now for James Innes Jr. Only carries 54.5 kilos, so very light.
I had to speak on the last start, so I just quite easily be backing up there.
So I'm looking away from a Point Percy. Probably Manor would be my top selection, but not a lot of confidence here in the last race. Best of the day for you?
Probably Falconberg.
Tend to agree there. That is the one that I'm sort of putting the pencil around at this stage. But there'll be plenty of stories up on the Punter Show website today. You can also get your set from John Walter for Wednesday. Mark Lambourne also providing his assessment for Warwick Farm. And at Ballarat, our man Darren Potter has done the form, and he's keen on a couple there. So that's our preview for Wednesday. You look like you need
a little El Duke just for everything.
That doesn't
look
to be an El Duke. I'm looking forward to seeing the acceptances for Saturday.
That's right.
Group 1 Coolmore Classic at Rose Hill. We've got the first day of the Golden Slipper Carnival, and we've also got the Australian Cup and Newmarket at Flemington. So plenty of momentum as we start to really get into the deep end here of the Autumn Carnival. It'll be all covered on the Punter Show. I think you need to go get a coffee.
I do need.
Even drop yourself in the ocean.
I do.
All right, thanks.